All right, Brax. Why don't you give us your full name, including middle? Braxton
Braxton Jace Hooper.
Jace. Now, how do you spell Jace?
Jacse.
You don't know how to spell your middle name? Jacse?
Pretty sure?
Jacse. We're going to have to verify that with your mama.
Okay.
And if you're wrong, we're going to have to whoop you. Because you don't know your middle name. No, I'm just kidding. I know you take it serious. So, Braxton, Jace. What was the last name again?
Hooper.
Hooper. So who do you know? I know I played baseball with a Mike Hooper. Who is he?
He's my granddaddy.
Your granddaddy. Oh, okay. What did he say? Did he say he saw him? He played ball with me, right?
Yes, sir.
What did he say?
He just said, "Hey, tell Pops that I said hey."
Yeah.
And that I played on the baseball team. So they see if he knows me.
Yeah, I remember him. He also got a brother, right?
Sir?
Didn't he have a brother?
Yes, sir.
What's his name?
Hang on.
You don't know?
I don't know his brother.
Well, that's all right. You don't
I
have
just
to.
know he
You
has a
don't
brother.
have to. So, do you have any uncles or aunts?
I do have one aunt.
One aunt? Is that on your daddy's side or your mama's side?
Mama's.
So, your daddy didn't have a brother or a sister? He was an only child?
Only child.
Okay. Did he play any sports?
Yes, sir, he did.
What did he play?
He just played baseball.
Baseball? So, yeah, me and Mike played some baseball together. He was a year younger than me, you know. But, what about, can you swim?
Yes, sir.
When did you learn how to swim?
When I was 5 years old.
5 years old. You learned. That's pretty early. That's pretty young. Learn how to swim. Can you swim fast?
Unless you're saying 5 miles an hour is pretty fast.
5 miles an hour swimming is pretty fast, Holmes. That's moving. You might be a swimmer. You might be an Olympic swimmer. What do you think about baseball? You like baseball?
Yes, sir. I like baseball. That's like my number one sport.
Baseball is your number one sport. Okay. All right. Well, what about what position do you play?
I play catcher, pitcher, first, second, third.
Pitcher, catcher, first, second, third.
Shortstop.
Shortstop.
And left field.
Left field. What would you left out center and right? Is there some reason you left out center and right? You never played those two?
I have played them, but
You don't like them?
I don't.
That's the only two positions you don't like? Do you like catching?
Yes, sir.
You do like
I
catching.
love catching.
No kidding. All right. Well, we'll see if we can get you some catching lessons. And you are how old?
I'm 9 years old.
You're 9 years old. Did you play baseball last year?
Yes, sir.
Whose team did you play on?
Rockmart.
You played on a Rockmart team? Was it a travel team? Was it a city
Yes,
league?
sir. It was a travel.
What? And you played all those positions? Well, how about your hitting? How you do hitting?
I've got an inside home run before.
Really?
Yes, sir. Hit it all the way to the outfield. Nobody could get it. Then the next time I came up, I almost struck out. But we came with a win that year.
In that game?
Yes, sir.
How did y'all end up during the season?
I mean, some of us was struggling, some of us weren't.
Well, I mean as a team, not individually, as a team.
It was pretty good.
Really? You know what your record was?
I think
How many games did y'all play?
that year we played like 20.
20 games? Was it all in Rockmart, or did you play them somewhere else too?
We played Rockmart, Cedartown, and then Rockmart again, and then Cedartown again.
So y'all played in Rock Martin, Cedartown. Well, who's your coach?
Coach Phillips.
Phillips?
Yes, sir. But I'm not playing in Rock Martin no more.
Oh, really?
I'm
So,
playing in Cedartown.
yeah, what team you gonna be on?
I think I'm gonna be on. I really don't know yet. You know, Miss. No, you don't. You know, Miss Paul. You know Paul.
Paul? I'm not sure.
Paul Chafin.
No, that's your friend's dad, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Okay. No, I don't.
Well,
I'm not
he
familiar with
asked
that
me
name.
to play baseball with him, so I said yeah.
Okay. All right. So you got all your equipment. You know it starts up pretty quick. It's
When does it
January, February. High school ball starts up in February. So I think it was always, and this was Little League back years ago when I was coaching and Matt was playing ball. April, like the first week in April was opening day of Little League, and it was huge. I mean, there was hundreds, maybe 1,000 people down at the ballpark. And, you know, each team had a tent, you know, they were cooking hamburgers, selling stuff, raising money. It was a pretty good deal, but now travel baseball has just kind of undermined all that. You don't have the community involvement like you did back when I played and when Matt played and when your granddaddy played. And did your daddy play baseball?
My dad.
That's right. I already asked you that. He did, and yeah. So it was like that when he played. But you know, it's coming up. Season's coming up, so you need to be getting some back practice, getting your swings in. I've got a swing thing out there that
Yes, sir.
you can use, and I got a net that you can practice pitching to.
Yes, sir.
You know, so don't let just, you know, even when you're by yourself, get out there and do something.
That's what
I remember when I was learning how to pitch,
Yes, sir.
lived on 503 West 2nd Avenue, and the back steps were made out of block. So you had individual blocks, right? Well, I picked out a block in the middle of the steps, and I painted it like white. And I had a rubber ball, and I would practice hitting that spot, and I got my hand-eye coordination. I developed it by doing that, and that's how you get good as a pitcher. You got to have control. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So you can use that net out there, you know, throw it in the sack,
Yes, sir.
and then you just keep on doing it. I mean, I did it for hours every day, but I'm not the one being interviewed here. I'm the interviewer. So, what about basketball? Do you play basketball?
I do play basketball. If I'm thinking about quitting basketball because I'm thinking about quitting because it's just.
I mean, you're thinking about not play. They're already playing basketball, aren't they?
Yes, sir. But I'm thinking about quitting because I'm playing baseball this year and I need to train for that. And I'm also playing football.
But
those are different seasons.
But you're saying basketball and baseball overlap? Is that what you're saying? That the basketball's going on while baseball's going on? I know it is in high school. You know.
It is, yeah. It's
Yeah, I didn't know it was in
League,
Little League or City League, we called it. So, but you're already on a team
Yes, sir.
and you're playing.
Yes, sir.
And you're gonna quit?
I'm not gonna quit. I will quit when it gets close to baseball season.
Well, you can't just leave the team like that. Are you playing? Are you starting?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen if you're not there? I mean, once you, I mean, I didn't let my kids quit. When they started something, they had to finish it. So, what happens is, when you leave the team, you leave a hole. And they've got to fill that hole with somebody. And then that's letting down the team. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I would suggest trying to do both if you could.
Yes, sir.
But you need to finish out the season, basketball, and then play baseball.
Yes, sir.
They might let you do both. I don't know. But I'm sure you'll be able to try out for baseball and at least get on the team.
Yes, sir.
You know, and it's different when you're going to a team than when you leave a team.
Yes, sir.
You know, because you're helping the team when you join the team, but you're hurting the team when you leave the team. So it's just basic knowledge
Yes, sir.
right there. So all right, so you go to Westside, right?
Yes, sir.
And your homeroom teacher is Miss Burgess,
Yes, sir.
and you like Miss Burgess.
Yes, sir.
She's a good teacher.
Yes, sir.
And you're in the 3rd grade,
Yes, sir.
and you're how old?
9.
You're 9, and when will you be 10?
August the 1st.
August 1st. So you ain't been too long since you had a birthday. You just turned 9. And you go to school with my granddaughter. What's her name?
Andy Grace Kaiser.
Andy Grace Kaiser. She's pretty friendly to everybody, isn't she?
Yes, sir.
She goes around and talks to everybody.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. Dang. Getting over this cold. I have to cut that out.
She normally talks to me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but whenever they call me, I'm like, hang on, give me a second. I'm talking to Andy Grace. And then she's like, oh, no, you can go. I'm like, okay.
Well, what about during recess? What do you do during recess?
I play football or baseball.
Do y'all play tackle?
Yes, sir.
Y'all play tackle during recess? Really?
They never told us we couldn't.
Well, so what about, have you ever got a spanking? Have you ever got a spanking by a teacher or a principal?
Yes, sir.
No? So you've been a good boy. Do you know anybody that's gotten a spanking
My teacher?
or paddling? Yeah. No?
Actually, yeah, my friend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, Andy Grace, she's in Miss Chafin's class.
Yeah.
Miss Chafin Ellis, that's his mama.
Uh-huh.
He got a spanking.
His mama teaches
Yeah.
and gave him a spanking?
He's acting up.
Well, you know, that's fine. Yeah, that's the right thing to do.
And we were switching classes. I'm like, JP, just look away. Don't. Just don't.
So who are your friends?
I have JP, I have Ellis, I have a lot. It's hard to think. I have JP Ellis, Asher Bunn, Davin Maddox, Andy Grace, Willow, Case, Codwell, Drake,
That's a bunch of friends.
Hudson Payton, Willow,
You said, well, that's all right then.
Dalton Garcia, Max Mosley, Will Nichols, and that's about all.
You got a bunch of friends.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, your favorite subject in school is
Science and social studies.
science and social studies. So what makes science and social studies? Let's take them one at a time. What makes science so interesting to you?
Science make, like, we did this last year. We put ice cream in a bowl and then we put hot chocolate over it and it melted. I think that's pretty cool. So I like watching that kind of stuff.
So, you like the experiments.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What kind of experiment? What have you learned from those experiments? Do you know the periodic table yet?
No, sir.
So you don't even know what periodic. That was later on. That was I think I learned the periodic table in the 7th or 8th grade, I think. So what kind of math are you taking?
Times, multiplying, division.
Wow. I can't remember if we did that in 3rd grade or not. But let's get back to your favorite subject. One of them was science and the other was history. What makes history one of your favorite subjects?
I just like learning about old stuff, like
You like history,
volcanoes that erupted, like
thousands of years ago,
yeah, and like World War II.
and you find all that interesting. So, if y'all studied about World War II,
I have. I've
do you
read
know what
books.
started World War II?
Yes, sir.
You don't know how World War II started? At least with the United States.
Yes, sir.
Do you ever heard of Pearl Harbor?
I think so.
Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941, was attacked, surprise attack by the Japanese, and thousands of sailors and Marines and soldiers were killed, and a lot of battleships were sunk right there where they were moored up in Honolulu. And then, it went on from there. But so you studied about it. What did you learn about it?
I learned that I just like that it's cool and I think it's just interesting.
It's interesting. So it's important that we remember all the sacrifices that were made during that war, so we could have, if Japan had won that war, we'd be enslaved by Japan. Might not even be here. Might be a totally different world if Japan and Germany, especially Germany, had won the war. But they didn't. The United States and the Allies won in the end, and the United States has been a superpower ever since. So it's worked out in our favor. But we did lose a lot of good men and women in that war.
I got a grandpa who's in World War II.
Who is your grandpa?
Great grandpa.
Is he still living?
No, he died last year.
And his name was?
We called him Papa Dan. He was my grandmother's dad.
Grandmother's dad.
Grandmother's stepdad.
What about your granddad's dad?
Granddad's dad.
Do you know anything about him?
Yes, sir. His name's Papa Joe. That's what we call him.
And he was a policeman?
He's a policeman.
Yes, I remember him. I remember him when I was a teenager. He was a policeman. Yeah. Never did give me any trouble. I never gave him any trouble either. So you're in the third grade now. You got 2 more years in elementary school, right? What would you like to get out of school? What would you like to know by the end of the third grade?
I'd like to know that,
Math. What do you want to know in math?
I just want to know, like 1,000 times 2.
1,000 times 2?
Yes, sir.
Do you know that answer?
Yes, sir.
1,000 times 2? What is 1 times 2?
1 times 2 is...
You're only using 2 one time. So what is it? 2. So 1,000 times 2 is?
1,000 times is 2.
2,000. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you want to learn how to multiply
Yes, sir.
by the time you get out of third grade.
Yes, sir.
What about science? What do you want to know? What do you want to learn about science in third grade? What are you having trouble with right now? Are you studying it now and you having a little bit of trouble with something?
I don't have trouble, no, sir.
You don't have trouble? So what, I know you like the experiments.
Yes, sir.
What about the book work?
The book work, I like writing. Yes, sir.
You like writing? And y'all use laptops, right?
Yes.
Do you do all your work on laptops?
Well, some people don't do this, but I look up this answer sheet. It's not an answer sheet. It's like a white piece of paper, and I write down on that, and then I read my words, so I don't mistake when I write it actually on that piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a good grade.
Okay. So what is your grades? Putting you on the spot.
A's and B's.
A's and B's, so that's good.
And an S for good
Conduct.
behavior.
Good behavior. That's good too. So do you like the lunchroom?
Yes, sir.
You do like it?
I have some foods I do not like.
Really?
I do not like their steak. I don't like their chicken sandwiches, and I don't like their what's it called?
What about their peanut butter?
I love their peanut butter.
I love their peanut butter. I don't know what kind of peanut butter that was. I never have been able to find it. But there is some at Sam's that's pretty good too. That comes close
Yes,
to that.
sir.
Yeah. So what about their hamburgers?
Their hamburgers?
They're not good as Pops, are they?
No, sir. No, sir.
What about their corn dogs?
Their corn dogs, I love their corn dogs.
You love the corn dogs?
Those are
And
my
I guess your favorites are corn dogs and, let me guess, corn dogs and pizza. No, corn dogs and, you told me, what was it?
It was corn dogs and cheesy, corn
No.
dogs and stuffed crust pizza. Yeah, that's what it was.
That's what you told me?
Yeah, stuffed crust pizza.
Okay, all right, I'll take your word for it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and conclude this interview, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to speak to your friends. And,
Hey.
And you hadn't seen them. I mean, you've seen them a couple of times, but y'all be getting back to school when? Next week? When do you go back to school?
A week and 3 days. Week and 3 days.
A week and 3 days? Yeah. So you got all next week off too.
Yes,
Wow,
sir.
that's a long time. Well, I guess your friends have been wondering what you've been up to, the ones you hadn't seen. So did you have a good Christmas?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you get everything that you wanted to?
Yes, sir.
You did? Okay, Santa was good to you.
Yes, sir.
What about, did you get some good food too?
Oh, yes, sir. That's what I came for. That's why I came for Christmas. For the
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
And for your food.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and end the interview, but we'll see how it goes.
Yes, sir.
Where my dogs at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where my shoes at? Where my dogs at? Where you at? Tenacious dogs on attack.